Hello everybody, BrioS here. Today I have for you one of the most common mechs of the modern day battlefield, and of course you'll recognize this as the 55-ton clan battle mech, the Vapor Eagle. Lovingly named as the Veagle by the pilots in MechWarrior Online, that's because too many words is difficult for the average human being. And yep, the Veagle is really common because it does the ATM pop starting really well. So you'll see lots of Veagle 1s and Veagle 3s especially. That's because they have really nice missile hard points, high mounted. And with the jump jet quirk, you can actually boost the initial jump and pop tart really well, throwing missiles and destroying the enemy. And that gets really boring after a while. So I decided to run something a bit different. So here it is with the Veagle 1 *S for special edition with the 30% Seeble bonus. And I decided to run something a bit different. And what am I running? Well, it's a very simple build. It's a Dakka Veagle with a UAC 20 and a UAC 10, which looks really impressive initially, but I tell you, this build you see right here I'm presenting to you is not the most effective build around. It's more of a fun build. It can do damage, of course, but any mech can do damage if the enemy does not shoot back. And why? Let me tell you why. This build is not the most effective because, firstly, these weapons are all left side loaded. If you lose your left torso, you are weaponless. So when you take damage, always present your right side. And another problem with the clan UX is that they are UX ultra auto cannons. So nothing is more irritating than lining up your shot, clicking the button, and all your weapons jam, which is a problem with ultra auto cannons. And also, most importantly for the more experienced players, you'll know that the UAC 20 and the UAC 10, they don't sync well. They have different cooldowns, different velocities, and that makes it hard to plan your shots. But on a more positive note, this build is built around the 30 points of damage, and if you burst fire, you can do 60 points burst damage, which is really impressive on a Veagle. And with the XL255 engine, and more importantly, the 4 jump jets, you can move at a speed of 78.5 with speed tweak, position yourself nicely, pop tart over terrain or your friendly front line, and lay down this 60 points burst damage, assuming your guns don't jam and the enemy is, well, stupid enough to stand still. So anyway, that it is the Dakka Veagle with a 60 point burst damage. Not too bad, but well, I can think of better builds. But it's fun, and that it often is the most important. And with 4.5 tons of ammunition for the UAC 20 in the torso, it's more or less sufficient. The UAC 10 in the arm tends to blow off a bit faster because it's on the arm, so I've only gone for 3 tons of ammunition. So let's get down to skills. For skills, I'm running 37 SPs in the firepower tree. This build can generate quite a bit of heat, assuming you don't jam. And of course, we all know you always jam. And yeah, because of that, with 37 SPs, I'm getting a heat reduction of 7.8%, a velocity of 6% helps because Dakka rounds move slowly, and a range boost of 9% helps with the UAC 20 because that one has a bit of a short range. And I took 2 nodes of enhanced UAC to reduce the jam duration, and that always helps. And in this build, when you jam, don't just stand around, find cover or reposition. You must have that mentality. And next, 2 nodes of magazine capacity to increase the capacity of those auto cannons, because those are your only weapons. And of course, a bit of cooldown, by the way. I have a 5.4% cooldown reduction, and that's not so important. So let's go on to survival. The strat for this build is to pop tart over terrain or your friendly front line, deal that 60 point damage, assuming you don't jam, and drop back into cover. And because of that, as you pop tart, you will take lots of damage because an experienced player will wait for you to reach your apex of your jump and lay down fire directly at you. So you need a bit of armor to protect yourself. So with 13 SPs on the left side of survival, that gives me an armor boost of 11.4%, just a bit more, and a structural boost of 6.8, which is nice but really not important. 16 SPs in mobility is kind of my standard, going on the right side for the XLD cell. That gives me a XLD cell turn rate boost of 10.5, 14%, and 24%, which is pretty standard for me, which is my favorite configuration. And it also gives you 3 nodes of speed tweak at the bottom, allowing me to increase my speed, allowing me hence to reach a speed of 78.5. And for operations, 15 SPs for the 3 nodes of cool run, reducing or rather increasing the heat dissipation by 6%, and 5 nodes of heat containment to increase the heat capacity, which is always nice, allowing you to fire more before you need to cool down or fire a cool shot. And talking of cool shots, 10 SPs in auxiliary for 2 enhanced cool shots, and of course 2 strikes, which I like kind of a lot, even though they're quite controversial. So anyway, that it is the Veagle 1 Dakka build. 60 point alpha, or rather 60 point burst damage is really nice, assuming you don't jam, but it's left side loaded. So when you play, you always have to remember when you are in danger of taking fire, always present your right side. Because once you lose your left side, that's it. You just become a permanent spectator mode mech. So anyway, with that being said, let's get down to some gameplay and I'll show you some of the better matches I had with this build. And even though it's not a meta build, with good positioning and some good luck, assuming your UX don't jam, you can do quite a lot of damage. So let's get down to that gameplay. Let's go. Here we are on Mining Collective, one of the better maps for brawling, especially if you have jump jets just like this build. And for you guys today, I'm staying together with Bravo Lance, pop starting a bit to get a good look at the ramp at Echo 4, but staying together with Bravo Lance to move together as a team, hoping to take the top.
SRM Kintaro, Echo 5.
So first enemy has been spotted, so I'm gonna move along this route to jump up here, get some visuals on this ramp.
They're coming up the ramp, Echo 4.
And here they come.
Heavies.
Lots of heavies. Picking on the Thanatos. Yep, picking on the Thanatos first. Huge hitboxes. That's the flaw of the Thanatos. Nice chunky boy. One Orion moving to the...
They're coming up in force.
Moving to our left. And another wreck. Is that a wreck? Nah, it looks like a UX Shadowhawk. First gun jams, that is always a problem. Always plan that your UX will jam if you have them. Thankfully my other UX didn't jam, so I can still keep up some DPS. The strikes go down, do a bit of damage. And one guy, Hatchet goes down sadly. A bit overextended Hatchet, we do make mistakes.
Thanatos on our right, he has a Uzil partner, Delta 4.
Yep, they're trying to flank on our right with jump capable mechs. Too much fire, gonna fall back here. Focus on this side. I remember an Orion went this way.
They're pushing Echo 5.
With the Hellfire on my right, I can engage those on the left safely. Or rather
Delta 4 also, they're split.
Quite safely anyway.
Uzil Hotel, they said Delta 4 guys. Go for the Thanatos Delta 4.
So
Bravo, drop down.
Their flanking maneuver on this side kind of failed. Thankfully these guys in Bravo Land stopped the push.
Good kill.
Thanatos goes down, KMDD.
Delta 4 guys hit to Delta 5, regroup with our Delta 6 assault. Backshot.
So even though I did a bit of damage,
Backshot, we are coming. I hope.
It was enough to get that KMDD on that Thanatos, showing the burst damage of this build. So trying to find an opening. Mech is left-sided, so try to expose my left more if I want to engage the enemy. Offensive posture, I call it.
Focus on Juliet.
This is how you should use this build. Jump, fire, fall back into cover. Showing the right side to take damage. Kid Fox comes. Trying to engage our Stalker. He falls down. Perfect for me. Lying in ambush, but my UX jams. Silly UX 10. Leaving me in my UX 20. Can I get the kill? Yeah, it's enough to get the kill. A bit of friendly fire from a machine gun, from a friendly I think. So there's Scout Derek in his SRM Vomit Catapult. Aldair is in trouble.
You guys get him. I'm going to help Aldair.
Yeah, gonna help this guy here. Oh,
no, too late.
Backshot goes down.
Okay, now I'll need help.
Fresh Catapult. Good player. No illusions, gonna be a tough fight. So burst firing and jumping, presenting my right to take damage. Friendly light goes to my left, so I go to the right. Using the jump capability of this mech to get elevation. If your build is built around jumping, you should have more jump jets like this. Don't just put one. One will be jump jet will be for turning. I was able to put in 4, so it allows me high elevation. So team is pushing Scout now. He's all alone. His team just died sadly on him. Right torso is open. Jump jets are already taking the high ground. Good positioning by Derek here. Took off his arm. No, that wasn't me. But his arm fell off anyway. Derek gets a kill, but he shuts down. Blowing off his right torso, I think. Now targeting his left. And his other weapons. So, surprisingly, the enemy team made quite a big comeback. It was 10-5, now it's 11-9. But the match is almost won. Derek is weaponless, just prolonging the inevitable. So, interesting match. This build with the 60 burst damage is pretty amazing, and my 8 UX 20 ammo is out. So, obviously trying to farm some damage here. Right side, my arm fell off, which is what is intentional. No armor on the right arm, that's a shield arm. Just meant to fall off and soak damage. So anyway, as you can see, talking about this build, pretty impressive if you don't jam, and there wasn't much jams in this match. 60 burst damage is really vicious combined with the jump capability. And with the right side to shield, sounds good, but don't forget all your weapons on the left. So gotta protect the left. 817 damage, 2 kills, granted a bit of farming on poor Derek's catapult. And of course, a good max score from this match, 550. So last match was a pretty interesting map. Of course, Mining Collective being a good map for this build because of the huge burst damage and jump capability. Enemy tried to flank on their left, but then we chewed up their Thanatos and Uzil, and then after that Bravo Lance held the top and flanked them for the win, of course. But right now we have Rubellite Oasis, also a pretty good map for this build because of the different levels. Very well designed map. But this map I'm going to follow this assaults and heavies right here, because I can jump over them and do some nice 60 point burst damage, assuming they don't jam. So enemy Vulcan already in Echo 7, so gonna keep these guys in the low ground company. Niger peaks but takes massive damage, that means there's a firing line there. There they are. So dropping a strike, along with some Dakka. Dakka to the strike, but the strikes do the real damage.
Yep, Echo 7.
Now. All of them.
Yep, good comms. Always tell the friendly team where the enemy are. So enemy balling up there. Team is already aware where they are. So a few max shifting to the left to cover the slope on the left, while I cover the slope on the right. Not too good because I'm left loaded. Second strike goes in. Hopefully they push through that strike. Sometimes they do. Silly commando comes in. Damn commandos. Even worse shooting. So here comes the Vulcan again. Kano being very aggressive. Oops, I'm blocking this brother. He takes damage due to me blocking. He looks at me, glares at me. But it's, well, my fault. So be aware where your friendly teams are, mechs are. Kind of block the Marauder a bit too much. So gonna try avoid all these big chunky guys here for now. So this area favors my mech because I'm left loaded. So I can peek to the left of this pillar and shoot maybe this Huntsman if I can hit today. Yeah, his left side is caught. I eat his left side. Lots of fire from me because of the UX.
But yeah, I think we're in a bad position.
Yeah, we are. I'm shutting down because I've been doing lots of firing. We are pinned down in the low ground in Fox 6. We gotta push either to the left and over the hill or on the right. But team is just hanging around here. I think it's time for me to, instead of taking cover behind the big guys, to actually take point. As you can see, the Niger is already badly caught. So time to take an aggressive posture. Kilo made a mistake. Peeking. CT is caught. Guns don't jam. I eat up that mech. Killing blow. KMDD2.
Juliet, left also.
One lonely assault trying to push alone. Peeking sadly while the commando is behind me. I know there's a commando behind me. Guns are not jamming, thankfully. As you can see, Juliet's caught and he dies to a hail of UX fire. Second solo kill, 2-2. Team is still very passive.
Echo right torso Mauler.
Our assaults are still hanging here like this, Victor. Team is still taking a very passive posture. Enemy team is getting a bit more aggressive. Can't get good angles. Left side is clear, so I've got a friendly,
by the other side.
friendly medium on the left is Falcon. So he'll be
Golf is one shot, Huntsman.
he'll be my wingman. There he is. Hotel's
Hotel left leg catapult.
Yep, coming there, but Echo suddenly appears.
Mauler's here, right torso.
Juicy target, right torso is open.
He's pushing, Mauler's pushing, Echo 6.
Reversing behind this slope to get some cover to do some pop tarting. There I
Charlie's
go.
one shot.
Yet again, another guy just
Hotel's
YOLOing.
legged, catapult. Get him, get him.
The poor catapult. Lost his leg. Left torso's open. Presents his right to me, but I still get the CT kill.
Swing left.
4-2, we have the advantage. Enemies getting desperate.
Echo.
Oh, that's Piggy, Pig Slayer. Nice guy.
Sorry, Foxtrot.
Let's kill him. Nah, couldn't
done,
get Pig
Echo.
Slayer.
Oh,
5-2.
weaponless. Shits.
As you can see, yeah, having a left
Converge
loaded
Echo 7, 7-2. We can do
build.
this.
If you lose your left side, or in my case, the left arm,
By 6.
I've lost my UX,
Yeah, man. Everybody's still standing back.
and my UX20 got critted out. But instead of hiding, I'm going to keep this
Oh, look at that.
Victor company.
LR5 Artemis Stalker.
share armor with him, give him some confidence, handhold him as he pushes forward. Not that he needs handholding. They're just wrecking the enemy now. And it's 11-2. It's a win.
Good job, guys.
Yeah,
So despite the initial passiveness of the team, we were able to push forward for the win. Enemy made a few mistakes, committing too early, too individually. We took them out. I was able to push on the left and do some damage. 675 damage, not much, but 3 kills, 2 solo on both on assaults is pretty impressive. Sadly my guns blew off, so couldn't do extra damage. But I'm still rewarded for a nice match score of 5-7-2.